check out my new live stream that was dropped yesterday, last night, EMT conduit. Um, Basically, I go about bending EMT conduit and so on. Shrinkage multipliers, very important. So how we go about how you go about doing that is basically lining up your conduit properly. When you line up your conduit properly, obviously you're going to split this. So when you line up your conduit properly, um, you're not going to have any kinks. Uh, you want to avoid basically making wires and so on in your conduit. So basically, what happens is when you place your conduit on the floor, you're pretty much at risk of that conduit moving and proper proper installation, basically standing on the actual EMT conduit itself, placing one foot back on the conduit um, will allow you to have full momentum of the bending. Obviously, you know, if you slip, if the pipe slip and you continue to go ahead with your bend, you're going to have an off bend. And what I mean by an off bend is once you put the conduit on the wall, it's going to be off. So it's very important to make sure when you do start to bend your conduit that you take your measurements. Always remember there's a multiplier also. Um, so what the multiplier does is the multiplier basically allows you to double up on your mark. So basically, there is a shrinkage for every conduit size, whether it be 1 inch, inch and a quarter, 3/4, ½ inch, 2 inch. There is a shrinkage for every conduit you bend, and it doesn't matter the size of the conduit. You have to follow the shrinkage. If you don't follow the shrinkage, you're going to end up losing or wasting your conduit. And we all know when you waste conduit, what happens? It goes into the scrap pile. So not every conduit uh, you have to throw out. You can save conduit. And if you want to figure out how to save conduit, simply click into my live stream from last night, and that would allow you to see how I went about straightening out my conduit. Of course, you have to watch the full live stream in order to see when I did go about straightening out my conduit, which is important. Again, for all those who are tuning in to the channel, don't forget you can subscribe to my main channel, Fabian Electrical Services Inc. And on that main channel, you'll see that I just dropped a live stream last night on EMT conduit, how I go about bending my EMT conduit. So the full explanation is in my studio. It was dropped last night and it's fully out right now. So how do you get to my next channel? Simply go onto one of my past videos and you will see the link in going to my bigger channel. Obviously, for my bigger channel, that's where I do most of my live stream, most of my videos, and so on. So if you want to see the full breakdown of how I install EMT conduit, click on the link that's in one of my shorts, which will be pinned. And you can also check out my masterclass, my EMT masterclass class conduit installation. There you'll see most of my EMT conduit bending. Um, so for all those who are tuning in, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in to the live stream. and the struggles of bending EMT. As we all know, apprentices struggle with that in the beginning. It's not as easy as everyone thinks. Learning to control your body while you're bending conduit, learning to use the shoe the proper way also is vital to the installation. You want to make sure that when you are bending, you can either place your shoe, the bender, on the floor, or you can take the bender with the shoe in the air, and you can also bend your offset that way also. So if you want to see how I go about bending EMT conduit, you can check out my latest video that was dropped on my YT channel last night, EMT conduit installation. And how you find that, you simply go over to one of my past shorts that I dropped, and you can find the link in the pinned comment in the comment section. Takes you right over to my main channel where you'll see most of my EMT work. Again, on the main channel is where I drop most of my live streams and also where I do most of my videos. Um, Here I do mostly shorts and some videos also. Depends on the mood I'm in. Also, what I will do here also is some live streams, a lot of live streams I will do for all those who are beginners to EMT conduit and you're looking to simply figure out how to get by on the job site, how to save your conduit, how not to throw your conduit in the pile, which is the number one thing. A lot of apprentices, not just apprentices, but journeymen, uh, are under the assumption that when they, bend conduit and the pipe is flat, you have to throw it out. It's not the case. You do not have to throw out the conduit. You simply have to know how to straighten out that conduit. Once you can straighten out that conduit, everything is good. You now have a fresh new conduit, which you would have turned around and bent round. So very important when you see stuff like that. Make sure that you make sure that you don't lose all this. The EMT conduits that are very important. Not wasting it and so on. So being a dentist. Uh, so yeah, very important when it comes to that. Make sure that you know offsets, saddles. Obviously, saddles is the most hardest to bend. Three bend, four bend saddles. Also back to back 90s. Very hard to bend also. Again, if you want to see the full breakdown, simply head over to my main channel, Fabian Electrical Services Inc. And on that main channel, you head over to EMT Conduit from the playlist. You're going to see all of my EMT Conduit uploads, videos, explaining how I go about doing my saddles, three bend saddles, four bend saddles, my 90s, the take up, very important for the 90s when you're doing the take up. The reason comment tips, go brush your teeth. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Comment tips. So again, thank you guys all for tuning in to today's live stream. Again, for all those who are tuning in to tonight's, sorry, for all those who are tuning in to today's live stream, don't forget tapping up, liking up the live stream helps, and liking up the live stream helps with the channel. Helps to push it out to more people out there. Um, Also, don't forget you can follow me on my main channel. My main channel is called Fabian Electrical Services Inc. If you head over to my main channel, you're going to see my conduit installation uh, last night live stream that was dropped, and you know for apprentices who are coming up and who are figuring that EMT conduit is hard. No, it's not hard. It just takes time. It takes also. what do you call it, dedication. Obviously, dedication, you have to be dedicated to um, I think we need your comment. Yeah, don't need your comment. Anyways, dedication, quick dedication. Um, so it takes dedication in order to accomplish it. You want to make sure that your marks, your marks are what it's all about, right? Then you have your measurements done up. You can't go wrong. Then it's your measurements. What I mean by measurements is pretty much, you know, your first offset, which would be, let's say your first offset is 5 inches. Um, you want to double up on the second offset, which becomes 10 inches. So 5 and the 10 will give you 10 degree or 22 degree, whichever you're doing. As long as you make both bends the same. When I say the same, so if you're going to bend at 10 inch offset, or you know, and you're going to be doing a 10 degree offset, you have to make sure that both offsets are at 10 degrees. One cannot be 10 degree and the other one is 22. It doesn't work like that. So you have to make sure that you do have, you know, the proper offsets. So again, for those who are tuning in, thank you guys all for tuning in to today's whether it keeps saying tonight. Thank you guys all for tuning in to the live stream. Don't forget that you can also subscribe to this channel. You can also catch me on my live streams every Thursday, whether like. So you can catch me there on my live stream on my main channel. So again, for others who are tuning in, thank you guys all for tuning in. This is just a quick live stream, and again, you can catch me on my main channel. You can catch me live on my main channel. And again, uh, I just dropped the full video live stream last night into conduit installation. Check it out. Don't forget when you check it out to leave a like on the live stream. Uh, the live stream will be in the studio and explaining the basic steps on how to install conduit and how to avoid your kinks, you can actually make your kinks come back straight. So to see the part of the live stream, you have to watch the full live stream. Remember the timestamp on it that it is in there, and watching the full live stream will allow you to see the kinks that I made, or you know, the conduit that I was able to steer them back out. And again, how you steer them back out is basically by taking that conduit and making sure that you can bend it back out straight. So again, thank you guys all for tuning in to the live stream.